Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today we're going to be discussing American 1100 locks. Let's get into it. So I have put out lots of videos where I've picked American 1100s for various reasons. I have one video where I pick 11 of these suckers inside of like a little over 4 minutes. And but you know, I wasn't really talking in that process. I'm going to try to talk my way through this to try to help some of you who may be struggling with this very quintessential lock. Now, what is important about the American 1100? Well, everybody loves these because, one, they're quite affordable. You can get these for anywhere between $8 to $11, brand spanking new, $15 on Amazon or so. So if you're spending more than, I would say, $18 for these guys, you're definitely getting ripped off. They're just aluminum-bodied padlocks, key-in knob cylinder here. So it's an interchangeable cylinder that we can actually remove. We can gut, we can service it, we can do all that stuff. But the pins are a little bit smaller than what we're going to find in residential and commercial style locks. Because it is a padlock, most padlocks are have that smaller form factor. Now, this is not to be confused with a SFIC, a small format interchangeable core. This is just a key and knob cylinder, but it is smaller than the residential and commercial cylinders. What makes these so difficult is that they are 5-pin and they have security key pins and security driver pins. And you would think I would have some demonstrative model right here to show you guys, but I totally was not prepared for that. I apologize. But basically we have 5 key pins on the bottom, 5 driver pins on the top. All of them are going to be security pins, most likely. The key pins are going to have serrations. The driver pins are going to be a mix of serrated and spooled. Sometimes you can buy these that will be master keyed, so they'll have a wafer in probably like 3 out of 5 of the pin stacks. It's still a green belt level lock. None of these have master wafers in this particular collection right here. None of these do. I purchased all of these off of Amazon, keyed differently, and that's just that. So there's 2 things that I want to cover. There's a lot of things I really want to cover about this lock. The first thing we're going to cover is to do this successfully, we just need one turning tool. That's going to be about 40 thousandths or 1 millimeter. And we're going to use the short end for top of keyway. That's our little rule number 1, okay? Because we're going to be picking top of keyway. We're going to be picking this in our hand, so we want to be comfortable. If we try to use any other top of keyway, our fingers are going to be way up here. It's just not comfortable. Number 2, I would like to go with something around 18 thousandths to 20 thousandths. So if you have the covert instruments, you know, echelon set that has the 20 thousandths medium hook, that'll work. I'm going to be using a Jimy Longs in the 19 thousandths. This is old school. This is a Jim hook. Currently, you may have access to his beginner intermediate set, so it's 18 thousandths. I wouldn't go with a 15 thousandths because there's so much counter rotation on these that you may end up bending your pick. So what that means is the security pins in here will cause so much play in the core that it may deform your pick. And we'll talk about that as we get to it. So I would say 18 to 20 thousandths. It's a good sweet spot. You're going to have a little bit of a hard time trying to pick this with anything over 23 thousandths. Like a 25 thou, I wouldn't recommend it because it is slightly paracentric in that keyway. So, but I also wouldn't recommend 15 thou. So other than that, I would go with a medium hook or a deep hook. You're not going to want to pick this guy with a shallow, short, flat hook. It can be done. People have been doing it for years. I just don't recommend it. It's not what I would recommend. I would recommend a medium hook because we do have a very high-low bidding in these locks. And then last but not least, also what I want to recommend is we can pick these locks clockwise, and we can only use a key clockwise, but we can actually pick these counterclockwise. Now we see this guard here that keeps us from turning the key counterclockwise, but it doesn't mean it can't be picked. If you have access to a plug spinner, and I will provide a link in the description down below to this plug spinner, and which is $80, which is way overpriced, and I'll provide one for the right-hand plug spinner, which is $16, which I own, and I don't have that in front of me either, which I should have, but that's actually, it works just as good as this one. So if you have a plug spinner, you will double your chance of success of opening your very first American padlock, and we will talk about why that is as we get to it. So without further ado, let's mix these up. Not that it matters. Just that way people don't think, he's cheating. He has them memorized. Yeah, I got 12 of these all memorized. All right, so yeah, there are 12 here. I'm going to pick all 12 as best I can, and we're going to try to troubleshoot these as we go along. So wish me luck. All right, so we got our top of keyway here. Let's just start with pin number 1. Nothing on 2, nothing on 3. Okay, I'm on about pin 4 or pin 5. Got to click out of 5. All right, now all I'm doing is I'm kind of speed picking. I want to bring that pick in and out. I want to feel what's going on in that lock. I feel 3 pin and 2 pin binding. Let's try number 2. Okay, I got to click out of 2. We don't want to be greedy with these locks. We just want to take this slow ride. We want to take this really slow going. So I'm on pin 4. Let's see what pin 4 does. Okay, got to click out of 4. Okay, pin 1. Let's feel for anything else. Okay, now I don't feel anything, so now we're going to hunt individual pins. So let's go to pin 2. Nothing on 2. Pin 3. Nothing on 3. Pin 4. Got to click out of 4. Pin 5. Nothing on 5. Wait. Okay, that was 5. Let's go back. Oh, okay, I feel something on 2. Okay, 2. Okay, let's go back to 1. Okay, I feel something on 1. Oh, and we got an open. Check that out. So the lesson that I learned there is that speed picking is a little bit more effective than just picking 1 pin at a time, because speed picking will allow the binding pins to just stick out and say, I'm here, pick me. And all I'm doing to speed pick is I'm almost using it like a rake, and I'm feeling for the hard pins that are sticking out. You're not going to feel non-binding pins, and you are going to feel some set pins, but they're going to feel like they're set a little bit higher than the binding ones. The binding ones are going to feel like they're binding way low. So that's what I'm kind of feeling for. Let's put this guy over here. Let's try another one. We're going to move a little bit quicker this time. Okay. I just probed it, and I felt probably what felt like pin 2 or pin 3 and maybe pin 4 or pin 5. So about 2 different binding pins. So let's try one of those. That felt like pin 3. That felt like pin 3 again. Let's go to pin 5 because I didn't feel anything on 4. Gotta click out of 5. See, now that's a good learning lesson. I felt 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks. That means I hit every serration on the driver pin and every serration on the key pin. I've overset that pin. Drop it. Reset. Don't be afraid to reset. Let's do that again. Click 2. Pin on a 3. Click out of 3. 4. Nothing on 5. Let's go back to 1. Nothing on 1. 3. We're on pin 5 now. Nothing. Go back to 3. Nothing. Go back to 1. Nothing. Okay, I'm not feeling anything moving. Hold on. I felt something move there. Okay, I'm back on 3. I think that was pin 5 that moved. Let's go back to 1. Nothing. Okay, that's 5 again. 5 is goofy. Okay. Oh, I'm on 2. Oh, we got an open. So I'm not really problem solving as much as I'm kind of like solving a multiple choice test. I'm doing a process of elimination. Honestly, that's what I'm doing. There are some locks where I have to problem solve. I really have to keep track of which pins I have set, because the binding order is so important that I'd be like, all right, I've set pin 1, I've set pin 5, I've set pin 4, and pin 3 and pin 2 are dead. So I know that pin 5 and 4 and 1 are the binding pins, so I may need to try them in a different order. I'm not really seeing that with these locks. I'm just picking the first binding pin that I can get, and then the second and the third, and just moving 1 click at a time. If I do 2 clicks or 3 clicks at a time, I will overset my key pin. So let's keep cruising. Okay, I feel pin number 2 is binding, and pin number 4 and 3. Let's try 3. Okay, click out of 3. Another click out of 3. Here's 5. Nothing on 5. Let's try 4. Click out of 4. Let's try 1. It seems like I'm picking these, like the pins out of like random, but I'm speed picking. I'm probing with my tool in and out until I can feel a pin that feels like it's binding. Okay, that was pin 1. Oh, and we got an open. All right, 3 down. Okay, here we go. Okay, that feels like pin 3, pin 2, Let's go to pin 1. I'm just randomly finding hard pins that feel like they're binding, meaning they're stiff, but they're moving. Okay, that was pin 4. I feel pin 4 feels like it's set. Let's see what else there is. That's 2. I felt some kind of rotation on 2 there. Hold on. Check 3, 4. There's 5. Pin 5 is counter rotating. And my tool is falling out. So there's 2 things I can do that. I think the reason why it falls out, it could be the tolerances of the lock. It could be the first pin. I'm still trying to figure that out. All I got to do is just keep what I got, try to rotate it back. But if it keeps giving me grief, then I'll pick it counterclockwise. But let's look for that binding pin. Okay, pin 3 is really, or no, it's pin 4 is really sticking out. Now, you notice how I'm sticking the pin. I'm like, oh, pin 4. It's a loose guess, but it's a pretty good guess. Pin 4. Counter rotation, maybe. Oh, and I overset it. Oh, no, I got it. See, I heard click, click, and I was like, that's got to be an overset. So I backed off a little bit. That key pin dropped, and then I was able to catch it right at that shear line. These guys are really easy, not because of, I mean, yeah, because of practice, but there's just some logic here. I'm just picking the pins that are binding. That's it. So pin 2, pin 3, pin 4 all feel like they're binding. So let's try it. Pin 2, nothing. Pin 3, pin 4. Let's go back to pin 1. Click out a 1, go pin 2. Okay, pin 4 feels like it's binding. Okay, something's overset here because now I feel nothing. I feel nothing now. So we're going to reset. And let's try one more time. 2 clicks out of 1 by accident. 2 clicks out of 2 intentionally. Let's go to pin 3. Sometimes I will get multiple clicks out of a pin because now I can also go off of sound. So that was pin 4. Did you hear that? I hope it caught that. We're gonna hear click, click, pop. That pop is the sound of the pin setting at the shear line. The click, click. That's how we know we have a serrated pin or a serrated spool, but we're listening for the pops as well, not just going off of feel. Okay, that's pin 3, pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5. Let's go back to 3 is binding. Okay, let's go back to 1 is binding. 2. Okay, I'm in a false set here. False set means that I probably have a spool pin in here. So that means it was 2, I think, that had the false set. So we want to try to get out of that false set. Pin 2 is not the culprit there. Neither is 3. Neither is 4. And neither is 5. So now I'm not feeling anything. This is the second time I've had to reset this. Now I have a feeling that if I crank on one of these pins hard enough, it'll pull me out of that false set, but I'll also probably deform my tool, and it's not worth it. So I'm going to pick it in the opposite direction. Man, I just reset it and only heard 1 pin drop. So maybe I had nothing. I don't know. Let's try picking it in this direction. So this is a little technique that I've developed. I don't know if this is common. I haven't seen too many people do this on padlocks, but this is something I'm doing. I'm going to be picking counterclockwise, and let's give that a try. It opens up my possibilities of finding the binding order by double, because now I can, pick it in the other direction. I'm getting all kinds of clicks here. Sorry, I should have been articulating that. Oh, so now we're in a false set from that pin 5. Let's go back to pin 1 and see what we got. Nothing on 1. Nothing on 2. Pin 3 is counter rotating. Check this out. Oh, overset it. Watch this. I'm going to release it a little bit to drop that overset because I hit 2 clicks. I just have that intuition where I'm like, I think I overset it. Watch, I'm going to try to release that key pin. Okay. And I got it. Don't ask me how I know, because I don't have it memorized. I have no idea. I just know sometimes when I overset pins, and then I'm like, I bet if I just release it, I can let that key pin drop, and that's gonna be it. So I've picked it counterclockwise. It will not open the shackle that way. We're going to rotate this guy in the direction that I picked the lock, and then we're going to insert this guy. First, I want to bring the shackle to about 11 o'clock position here, so that way it doesn't have to go far. It doesn't have to travel very far. And then I'm going to drop this in as far as I can get it without it obstructing the keyway. Watch this. Okay, now it jumped. Boom, and I got it. What I'm doing is I'm rotating the plug so quickly that the pins are jumping past that shear line, and I'm able to rotate it in the opposite direction. Look at that. It still has factory grease here. So this is a good lock. So here's another note. American 1100 locks are stupid hard to pick if they're super old, because people put grease in them and they just don't like grease. Also, they have what appears to be a type of Vaseline or a lithium grease that's packed in here, which is great for the ball bearings and the locking pawl and mechanism that's in here. However, over time, that eventually will leak into the pin stacks, and that will get it gummed up. So sometimes people will bring me American locks to locksport meetups. I'm like, hey, Sandman, can you pick this? And I'll put my pick in, and if all the picks feel like they're mushy, like I'm trying to pick, I don't know, you know, like something out of Jello, you know, I don't know, my metaphors are lame. If I was trying to, if it feels like 90s gack from Nickelodeon, I don't know. If it feels like you're just sloshing through something, like it just feels mushy and you're not having any audible or any type of sensory feedback, you don't hear or feel any clicks, chances are there's grease in that sucker. And 9 times out of 10, I've been able to tell people, yeah, someone put grease in this. And they're like, how'd you know? And I'm like, well, because it picks like shit. You know, and they're like, you're absolutely right. I put grease in it before I came out here. I'm like, thanks for ruining my life. And then I usually end up picking it sometimes. So we're going to keep cruising. Am I still talking? Who's still listening to me at this point? Is this even a good angle? I don't know. I tried to zoom in. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Someone's going to complain, Sandman, I can't see what you're doing. To be fair, I can't see what I'm doing either. The pick is inside the lock. Okay, let's go with, okay, pin number 5. Here we go. Pin number 3. Nothing. Oh, that was 4. Here's 3. Got a click out of 3. Good. Big click out of 3. If I get a little click out of a pin, I'll usually try for a bigger click, like that one right there. So I'm now in a false set. Now, because I'm in a false set, you'd think, oh, pin 1 puts you in a false set. Pin 1 should get you out of the false set. Not always true. It could be I'm in a false set and then I need to set some other pins before going back to that pin. Also could just mean that that pin is set and I just have a lot of movement in this core. Let's see. Here, pin number 3. Nothing. Pin number, we're looking for 2. Let's look for 2 here. No, that's pin number 1. Let's go past pin 3 here. Let's go pin 4. Pin 5. Okay, there's nothing. Pin 2. Let's go back to pin 1. Nothing. So, what are we going to do? We're going to pick it the opposite direction. We could reset, but let's just pick it in the opposite direction and see what happens. I feel all kinds of binding pins here. Let's go with 3. Oh, I overset that one, so I immediately reset it. See that? That was a thud. That's not a good sound. I don't know what that is. So we're going to reset that. So I just let go, heard it drop. Okay, pin 1, good click. Small click out of 2, let's get another. Overset number 2, so I had to reset. Okay, click out of 1. Nothing out of 2. Click out of 5. I had to reset there on that pin. Do you see how there's a little bit of movement here? There's a little bit of movement in that core. So that's how I know that I am working towards some type of process, or progress rather. Let's go pin 1. Nothing. Pin 3, counter rotation. Got it. Okay. 1. I'm supposed to only rotate these things 1 time, but I like to rotate it twice because once is just not enough sometimes. All right, so we're in the 9 o'clock position. It's never going to open that lock. We're going to put this thing at the 10:30, 11 o'clock position, so that way it doesn't have to travel as far. I'm going to insert it to right about there, right in the middle. There we go. So I was able to rotate it, and then I used my fingers to, because it's spring loaded, and to get it going the rest of the way. We got a couple more here, so we're gonna back up a little bit because that's weirding me out. Extreme close up. Whoa. Wayne's World. Anybody else from the 90s? Probably not. Okay, here we go. So let's go 1, nothing on 1. Click out of 2. 2 clicks out of 3. 2 clicks out of 4. Possibly overset. Let's go back to a 1. Hey, we got it. Oh, we got it. We got it. There we go. We're moving along, trucking along. Okay, here we go. Okay, pin 1. Good. Pin 3. Oh, I overset that guy. It just went click. That wasn't even a click. It was a click. All right, let's set this again. Okay, big click out of 1. Movement in the core. It's either set or we have a spool pin. Pin number 2, I got some movement out of the core on 2. Counter rotation on 3. Oh man, I overset number 3. So watch, I'm gonna reset number 3 a little bit. I don't wanna drop everything. You hear that 1 click? I'm gonna go again. There we go. Did you see the movement in the core there? That was me completely dropping pin stack number 3, but holding what I got. Let me prove you. Let me prove it to you. Watch, I'm gonna release it more and we're gonna hear pin 2 and pin 1 drop. Watch. I heard a click. Oh, there it was. I was talking over the second click. I swear there was 2 clicks there. Just believe me. So, okay, here we go. Pin 1. Big click out of 1. Big click out of 2, but it's overset. Okay, reset number 2. Click out of 2. Click out of 3. Overset. Okay, do you see that movement in the core there? I can just tell. 4 feels set. Okay, pin 5. Nope. Something just moved as soon as I touched it. Okay, pin 2. Counter rotation on 2. Oh, do I have it? I think I have it. Yep. These spring-loaded cores, man, they can be kind of tricky because you're like, I think I have movement in the core. I don't know. I got to force this thing all the way. All right, here we go. We got 4 left. 4 left. I don't know if any of this advice is helping anybody. Pretty sure I lost my mind about 5 minutes ago. Here we go. We're speed picking here. I have no idea. We're on minute 22. That's not good. Sad. Okay. Okay, that was pin 5. Let's go to pin 1. Go pin 2. Okay, pin 3. Here's the deal. I just lifted pin 3, not set it. I lifted pin 3. I could hear the springs moving. I felt binding the whole way and I lifted all the way up and it did nothing. That means it's overset. You got to listen for clicks and pops. Let's reset that. So all I did was just back it up a little bit. I didn't reset all my pins. I reset that pin by just releasing the tension here. I can still reset all the pins. Watch this. I heard a couple clicks. The last portion was just the core, but I like to sometimes just reset 1 pin. Let's do this again. Hey, almost done. 3 more to go. Pin 5 is the first binding pin. It just felt like the deepest. That's all. Pin 3 is the next binding pin. Pin 2. Okay. Pin 5. Or maybe that was 4. I'm on pin 3. Did you see me get 3 clicks out of that? But it was like pop, pop, click, or click, click, pop. Pin 1 was the culprit. So I'm just looking for the pins that stick out, and I just lift them a little bit at a time. I can jump around from pin to pin. I can release a little bit to drop that one pin stack and hold everything I got. I can start all the way over. And given by the fact that this thing's it's slowly falling and rotating out, let's just try to see if we can pick this guy counterclockwise. See, look, it's wanting to rotate out in that direction too. I don't know what the solution is. I think sometimes that it's just the length of the turning tool is too long. And maybe someday I'll take these little 90-degree angle turning tools and I'll buy an extra set and trim them a little bit. So that way it doesn't stick out as much. I am using a little bit of a variable tension with my thumb here. I'm pushing and I'm releasing and pushing and releasing. So let's talk about that. So right now I'm pushing, I feel a binding pin, I'm gonna slowly release to set that pin, because the amount of force I apply with my pick is going to be relative to the amount of force I'm applying against it with my turning tool. People always say, oh, you need to use light tension. Well, you can use heavy tension, just back off as you're setting the binding pin. I prefer to use heavy tension to get pins to bind and then back off as I try to set them and then reapply that heavy tension again. So this lock is giving me gumshoe. It's giving me some attitude. That's okay. Let's try picking it again in clockwise. Yeah, I'm getting nowhere with clockwise. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna set it down. We're gonna walk away. When I was a locksmith for a whole 4 months in 2010, my mentor, TC DeShane, God bless her soul, she is passed, but she told me, if you can't pick a lock inside of 5 minutes, just set the lock, just step away. And now she was a locksmith, not a lock sporter, but she said, just stop, step away, catch your breath, and then try again. She goes, if you can't do it a second time, you're probably not going to get it that day. Doesn't mean you can't get it, but she's like, you got to do a different method. That's, of course, as a locksmith. I like to do that as a lock picker. If I can't pick something within a sight of a minute or 2 minutes, I like to just take a break and move on, because what happens is you build up stress mentally, which means you're going to build up stress physically, which means you're going to be applying improper technique and you're just going to not accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. You may just end up destroying your tools in the process. So I'm just feeling for those clicks here, but this lock is playing a little bit of whack-a-mole. Yeah, it's playing whack-a-mole. So I'm not going to get pissed. I'm not going to get upset. Not going to get all frustrated. We're just going to go counterclockwise and see if we can get something. I'm still feeling whack-a-mole. Like I'll set pins and it feels like it's overset, so I got to release it to reset it. It just means that pin's not ready to be set. So move on with your life. Oh man, I was trying to hold what I had. Okay, here we go. Very clicky. Okay, let's walk away. Let's walk away. Frustrating. All right, here we go. Let's try this guy again. Not one, not two. Pin 3, I got like 3 clicks out of 3. Couple clicks out of 5. And nothing. Pin 1 and pin 2 just feel gummy. They do not want to be set. So let's try that counterclockwise on these. And I suck. Okay, here we go. Some of these are just harder than others. And my hand's kind of cramping, especially with this reversed technique. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere, so let's keep going. There we go. I don't know how. I think because there was movement in the core. I'm looking for movement in the core. You know, those are good signs. Rotate that to that 1030 position. Hang on. 1, 2. Got it. All right, last one. I think we're, what 2 hours into this? Oh, 33 minutes, man. Who's still watching? Why are you still watching? Do you really either A, enjoy watching people picking locks that much, or B, are you really getting a lot out of this? I hope you're getting a lot out of this. I like to watch people pick locks, believe it or not. But I hope you're getting something out of this. Instead of just, yeah, see, that was overset. It was just a thud. So I'm going to reset it. That's all I got to do. I don't need to lose all my progress. Just dropping that one. And if you don't know what binding order is or tolerances are, I have a whole video on it. It's part of my instructional series. There's a whole playlist. It's kind of dry. It's kind of boring. You know, I start off with, you know, Bueller. All right, here we go. I think I'm close. Hold what you got. Yeah, that number 1 pin keeps oversetting. All right, let's try setting this one counterclockwise as well. Yeah, I'm feeling some movement on the core. We're getting close. Here. We got it. I was feeling a little whipped there, my friends. I was feeling a little beat. But this wouldn't be fun. This wouldn't be educational. This wouldn't be a growing experience if I could just walk right through these guys. Someone's going to say, Sandman, why don't you just use an American bypass driver on them? I don't know, maybe because they're all shielded. But Sandman, this is called locksport, my friend. This is what we do. Got it. Here we go. All right, so that was 12 inside of 5 hours. I swear I can do it quicker when I'm not trying to talk and give a commentary, but I did my best. Those last two are kicking my butt. I hope I was able to help you guys figure out my problem-solving process. It's really not a whole lot of problem-solving as much as it is persistence and just some logic and reasoning on how these locks actually work. If you are struggling with a lock for longer than 2 minutes or 3 minutes, if you're not resetting for one, you're never going to get anywhere with it. You got to be willing to reset your lock often. I don't know if anybody noticed, but when I was picking counterclockwise, I would reset every couple pins because I was feeling like I was oversetting some stuff, you know, and that is really just going to kind of come with a little bit of experience, that feeling that you're going to feel, the sensation that I feel while picking counterclockwise versus also hearing for certain things and feeling in my picking hand where it feels mushy, or maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries, where I'm clicking way too many times. Like, you shouldn't be hearing more than 2 or 3 clicks to just get to the shear line, because there's not going to be more than 3 or 4 serrations on any given driver pin. So if you hear 3 to 5 clicks, you're well into your key pin. So that's something to think about. Let me know in the comments down below. What else do you want to see with these American locks? I think I've pretty much killed American locks at this point. I'm sure there's better videos, ways of describing on how to pick these. You're just going to get a mixed bag of spool pins and serrated pins and serrated key pins and serrated spool pins, which are spool pins, but there's serrations in the spool. You know, it's just a mixed bag. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, there's pictures online. You can figure that out. But you can also see here that I have a spool pin and serrated, and sometimes even the spools will have a serration, just one serration on there. And then the key pins can be serrated too. So it gets nutty really quick, my friends. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, go ahead and type in abracadabra in the comments so I know that you are my loyal follower and watcher. And I think of you often, and thank you for making it this far in your life. And go back to and be with your family, because they're way more important than my diatribe. So that's all I have for today, folks. Let me know in the comments down below. Abracadabra, and I'll catch you guys next time.